Hey gang, I know it's been a couple weeks, but I've been doing a few things, so I haven't really had an opportunity to do another video, but all of those things is what I'm going to talk about today. So over the last 3 months, I've had a really rough time with my mental health, and it came down to a mismedication. So that was really scary for me. I thought I was actually going insane. There was a lot of things going on. Oh my God, I should trigger warning this by saying this is going to be a conversation about mental health. So if it's not really what you dig, maybe check in next week. Anyway, so it turned out to be a mismedication, and pretty much my whole world fell apart. There was a lot going on. It was really bad. My anxiety was at an all-time high. I was really paranoid. There was a lot of stuff going on. So once I'd kind of figured out that it wasn't me, that it was something that I wasn't in control of, I was like, okay, I need to restart. I need to get my whole support system cracking again in the right way and get myself sorted properly this time. So I haven't had really any professional support network for 5 years, which is going to make anyone out there go, fucking serious, sister? I know, bad, but I think that up until then I was almost in denial about really getting my hands dirty and sorting shit out. Post-baby especially, a lot of things can change. So sorted myself out, got back down to an appropriate level of medication, which I don't recommend anyone to do that without the advice of a doctor. I did, and that is not the appropriate way to do things. I was confident in that because I'd been down on that level before, but I don't recommend that you do that without a doctor. Don't do it. And I got a new doctor who is amazing. I love her. Bloody awesome. So I got a new doctor. I've booked in to see a new psychologist. I'm going to see a new psychiatrist. We're going to have a long-term plan about medication. We're going to do EFT, so tapping, which I'm really excited about. We're going to be doing just so much stuff. So anyway, what I'm here to say is that if I can avoid someone else going into the fiery pits of mental health hell by sharing my recent experience, that's fucking amazing. So I've always definitely been an advocate for getting help, but in my stubbornness in myself, I've never actually received ongoing psychological treatment or seeing a therapist long term, essentially, just because I'd never actually found a therapist that I really liked. So I've been recommended this amazing woman here in Coffs, and I spoke to her on the phone and we clicked instantly. She's a lot more holistic. When she brought up tapping straight away, I was like, you are my woman. Definitely finding a GP that has a vested interest in your or a doctor. So I've actually gone through Women's Health this time, that has a vested interest in where you're at in your life, has a vested interest in you long term, not just a quick band-aid fix, which is what had happened where I was then mismedicated with a doctor previous to that. So yeah, I think that for me now, I'm definitely in a place where I'm ready to harness all aspects of a professional support network and personal support network. I have an amazing personal support network, but they're not professionals. They're not the people that I need to be going to when I think that something is wrong with my meds or with, really chaotic things. I need to be able to go and see professionals so I can then have my personal people as support for just supporting me in my life. So the importance of that, I think I've just come to terms with it. And after having Tallow, I really didn't realize that everything changes. So everything changes. So therefore, your whole care plan and everything needs to change as well. So I'm just going to go through the steps of what you have to do to get that sorted. So I went I called Women's Health. I mean, you can call any doctor that you're comfortable with. And I requested a long appointment to get a care plan made up, a referral to a psychologist. I had found my own. That was by pure luck by a friend of mine. But you can just ask them who they think would fit best for you. I asked for a care plan, so the psychologist appointments get subsidized, so they're cheaper when you have a care plan. I spoke about my long-term goals as far as medication and all of those things go. We spoke about, like, I got my bloods done so we can check my thyroid, my sugar, I don't really know, all of my bloods essentially. So we're starting again with like a fresh Sophie. And then we talked about long-term what we want to do. So, and how many people we need to link in. And then we went and spoke about my personal life and what that looks like for me, and if I have any support, which I'm super lucky. I have an amazing family, I have an amazing partner and amazing friends who all know that, yeah, anxiety is a huge part of my life. So yeah, that's where you start, and then you get a referral and you go and see your psychologist, which I'm going to see next week. And then you kind of build from a base. So you're like building your blocks and your strength and all of that stuff from there, from a really good place. And I think that there's nothing, you don't have to stay with a doctor you don't like. You don't have to stay with a psychologist you don't like, but you do need to come from a place of, I genuinely want to be the best version of myself. And we did figure out that my diagnosis of anxiety actually heads to OCD and PTSD. So I've actually got 3 things that I need to be working on now rather than just one. And I'm actually not ashamed of any of this. I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling really confident about the new direction that we're taking. We're going to be working a lot with where I'm at in my life with hormones and why I'm so crazy around my period and all of this stuff. So yeah, we're going to be looking at my health in a big picture and how it's going to work for me and what I want in my life, and just generally how I want to feel. So I wanted to share this because I think that a lot of people are struggling. I get a lot of messages of mums, young mums especially, or just young women struggling with mental health and not really know what to do, and they're feeling quite isolated about it. So I'm going to share it, and it's super normal. Like I was shitting myself to go and start again on Monday, but I've done it now, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a lot of getting my hands dirty within myself, but like I know that this is a really good path now. There's a lot of positivity around it. Everyone's going to be on the same page, and then if anything does ever if shit ever hits the fan again, I've got like all of these points where I can go, and then I don't feel like I'm taking, like the toll is not going on to my family and friends as much, which does concern me, and I know that they're not concerned, but I would rather have points of contact outside of them so then I can enjoy like things that aren't always about my mental health with them. So super excited, and if you have any questions about finding help for yourself or someone you love, please email me or DM me or bloody whatever, because it is so worth it. It is so worth it. Everyone in my family is relieved. Sam is relieved, my partner. I'm relieved. Just feeling super, super fucking good about the future. So this was no small talk with me, and it was definitely not small talk, because your mental health is just as important as your physical health, as your relationship health, as your sexual health, as anything. So if you need some help, get some, or if you need to know where to start for you, please email me.